people threatening our lives, leaking addresses out there, putting crazy pictures that
Nobody's linked her address. Shut the fuck up.
During real time last night, I did not see that happen. I don't, none of our team saw it happen, because I promise you, if we would have seen that happen, we would have had her back. Unfortunately, this type of shit happens every single game to her, and the league and the refs.
If Caitlin Clark does not walk onto that court, then you are not touching the hardwood for another second either. Those were the explosive, almost unbelievable words that suddenly rang through the locker room hallways as Sophie Cunningham finally erupted. The WNBA is now engulfed in complete chaos, and what began with a vicious, dangerous strike to the throat during the game has now exploded into an alleged physical threat behind sealed doors. For the first time since driving her clenched hand directly into Caitlin Clark's neck, Alyssa Thomas finally appeared before reporters. But rather than expressing regret, rather than apologizing for a dirty hit that league officials later upgraded to a severe flagrant 2 foul, Thomas stood before the cameras and unleashed stunning accusations. She attempted to convince everyone that it was merely an ordinary basketball play, that there was absolutely no harmful intent, and that Clark had exaggerated the moment to draw a whistle. But here comes the revelation that transformed this emotional drama into all-out war. Only hours after Thomas concluded her media appearance, a leaked medical document from the Indiana Fever Training Facility confirmed the fear everyone had been dreading. Caitlin Clark has officially been removed from full practice because of a serious, agonizing back injury. The video tells the story. During that exact collision where Thomas delivered the crushing blow, Clark awkwardly twisted her back while falling, aggravating a lingering issue that has now forced team physicians to intervene and sideline her indefinitely. She is in pain. She is unavailable. Yet mainstream media figures and Alyssa Thomas are still publicly attacking her reputation. And that was the precise instant when Sophie Cunningham completely broke. Witnesses inside the arena said Sophie became so emotional and enraged that security personnel had to physically restrain her from storming the Phoenix media room. Sophie then appeared live and asked,
"Make sure Thomas never sees the court." I'm in Texas. Why would I know? I mean, I'm asking a question. So, guys, I keep telling you guys, you don't hate the media enough. Sophie Cunningham just kept it real about the Phoenix Mercury organization.
You know what's funny, though? That I know people in their own organization that, like, nobody likes their team this year. They say that they are, like, the unfriendliest group. So we're not the only ones who feel that way. Internal people feel that way.
Wow. People that work for the Mercury, Grant Young posted this. I'm going to give him a shout out. Blind squirrel finds nut. People inside the Mercury organization can't stand this team. Rude, unprofessional, not friendly.
Take a moment to absorb the absolute madness unfolding behind closed doors right now. For months, the pressure inside the WNBA has been rising like an explosive device seconds away from detonation. Every night, Caitlin Clark walks onto the court only to be pushed, hunted, clawed at, and brutally knocked around by veterans who appear to follow an entirely separate set of rules. When supporters voiced outrage across social media, commentators branded them overly emotional. When experts highlighted the disturbing trend on national broadcast, league executives responded with hollow, recycled statements about the physical demands of professional basketball. But tonight, everything has changed forever. Alyssa Thomas believed she could step in front of reporters, cast herself as the victim, and act as though striking a rookie in the neck was simply normal defense. She believed everyone would quietly accept her version of events. But she disastrously misjudged the fury boiling inside Sophie Cunningham. The legal consequences and financial damage triggered by this media firestorm are already beginning to tear the league apart.
So much to me, quote, just the whole narrative that's being painted out there. It's unfortunate that it's come to this over basketball.
I'm crazy. The playing the game, being suspended, just the whole narrative that's being painted out there. It's unfortunate that it's come to this over basketball. A lot of us, myself included, didn't even know the play took place until after, the game. And, now we're being painted as thugs and there's death threats out on us. So it's really unacceptable. It's something that needs to change in this league. And I'm just really sick and tired of it.
You are a thug, Alyssa Thomas. You're a thug. You're a dirty player. You're a nasty individual. You put a fist in Caitlin Clark's throat and a knee in her groin, and you're going to act like, oh, I didn't even know that took place. I didn't even know that happened as I'm diving onto her and using my fist as an arm cushion to get up. Oh, I didn't even know that happened. Oh my gosh. The narrative.
Inside the league offices and behind sealed conference room doors, total chaos has erupted. Emergency meetings are being assembled in the middle of the night. Telephones are ringing endlessly, and expensive corporate attorneys are desperately searching for a way to contain this enormous public relations catastrophe. Major sponsors are in full panic mode because this locker room conflict is no longer an ordinary sports rivalry. It has crossed into genuine, unscripted verbal attacks and alleged physical threats. Companies that invested millions of dollars into the WNBA this season are already warning that they could withdraw their financial support if swift and severe disciplinary measures are not imposed on everyone involved. Now focus on the harsh medical situation confronting the Indiana Fever. A serious back injury for a guard whose game depends on speed, explosive changes in direction, and elite shooting mechanics is not something that can simply be brushed aside. The medical team understands that if they force Caitlin Clark back onto the court too soon merely to protect television ratings, they could permanently jeopardize the career of the league's most valuable attraction. Most profitable phenomenon this sport has ever witnessed. Fans are genuinely frightened. Prices for upcoming tickets are already crashing across resale platforms, and league executives are beginning to understand that without Clark on the court, their entire vision for stadium growth crumbles into nothing. Yet rather than expressing concern, Thomas used her public platform to minimize the situation, dismiss the injury, and portray herself as the person unfairly suffering under public criticism. Sophie Cunningham drawing a boundary changes everything we thought we understood about player relationships in this league. She did not speak only for herself. She spoke for every person exhausted from watching dangerous cheap shots escape punishment. Sophie's emotional eruption on live television was intense, uncensored, and alarming. By openly declaring that Thomas would not play if Clark remains sidelined, she introduced an entirely new form of vigilante justice into the WNBA. The Players Association remains completely silent, frozen by the realization that locker room trust has been utterly destroyed. At this moment, the WNBA is experiencing a complete and irreversible collapse. The pressure on the commissioner to hand Alyssa Thomas a multi-game suspension for both her comments and the original foul is rapidly reaching its limit. This is no longer about one ugly game or one aggressive hit. This is about the very survival of the sport's integrity, and the truth has become far too deafening for executives to conceal. The next 24 hours could permanently alter the future of the league. We need to hear from the genuine basketball community right now. Was Sophie Cunningham entirely justified in threatening Alyssa Thomas to defend Caitlin Clark from these repeated attacks? Or did her emotional explosion on live television push everything much too far? This is the precise moment when the fans must seize control of the story and pressure league officials into action.